UFC 307 Pereira versus Roundtree just took place in Salt Lake City. Controversial. Very controversial. A lot to talk about. We're going to be going through the entire card, early prelim to main event, missing out the WMMA because I didn't watch the WMMA. Maybe. That's why I got a better impression of the card than most people. Maybe some more people should try it. But we're going to be starting off with Court McGee versus Tim Means. I had Court McGee by unanimous decision. Thought he'd just slow it. I thought he'd just. He trains at elevation. They're both 40. They were going to gas out. He would gas out a bit less. He's a grappler. He'd just sit on him for 2 rounds. Probably the last 2 rounds. I was wrong. Tim Means didn't do that. He didn't have an answer for the grappling. Gave up his back and rear naked choke. So I'm happy I didn't waste about 10 minutes of my life watching it. Happy with the prediction. Moving on. Ryan Spann, OSP. OSP's old. They went tit for tat. OSP's old. They both hit each other. OSP's old. Ryan Spann hit OSP. He got dropped. OSP's old. And Ryan Spann got the guillotine. And OSP, who's old, taps. So Ryan Spann, as shit as he is, gets his win. OSP, should retire. But that's that. I had Ryan Spann by TKO. Should have made sense to do that. But at least I got Ryan Spann round 1. Moving up. The first real controversy of the card. Cesar Almeida versus Ihor Potieria. Now this was a dog walk by Almeida. But so round 1, Almeida dominates him. He's the better everywhere. No, he didn't need to offensively grapple. He's a kickboxer. Potieria got him down, but he didn't do anything with it. That's that. But in the second round, about halfway through, Almeida dispensed not 1, not 2, not 3. No, I lied, 3. 3 eye pokes in 1 minute. 3 eye pokes that were recognised and had timeouts for them, as well as a groin strike in that 1 minute, I believe. Not a single point deduction. No point deduction for a total of 5 eye pokes throughout the fight. 3 of them happening in 1 minute's time frame. Now, you can say it was 30-27 on all cards, which it was. It wouldn't have mattered. It's not the point. It's that there was no eye poke. It's that there was no point deduction. It's a bad precedent to set, which has been set for years. Anyone who doesn't cheat in MMA, in the UFC, you're playing against your odds. You are not playing intelligently if you're not cheating. You're not fighting well if you're not cheating. You should cheat because you'll not be punished 95% of the time. Don't know when they'll learn this, and don't know when we'll just see eye pokes every round, but we should see it. But no, people have got morals, so they won't do it. So, good performance by Cesar Almeida. Ihor Potieria, even though I didn't rate him and I picked him to lose, I had Almeida by round 2 TKO. Feel bad for him. He's probably going to get cut soon. That's not the way to go with 5 eye pokes. But well done, Cesar Almeida. He moves up. Moving on to Austin Hubbard versus Alexander Hernandez. I didn't have a lot of stock in this. I picked Austin Hubbard decision because elevation, and I just thought he was better. I thought Alexander Hernandez, especially as a worse gas tank. He didn't show that. Alexander Hernandez took rounds 1 and 3 by popular consensus, I think. It was a debatable one. It was a right, you saw it being a split decision. I had Hubbard by decision. Alexander Hernandez got it. Very tit for tat. Hubbard couldn't get a takedown. That was like, he should have just stopped. I know it's easy to say it in hindsight, but he was getting no success with it. On the feet, he was getting gradual success. I think it was end of the second round or in the third round, but it was just too little, too late. Alexander Hernandez put in the pressure significantly more. I see why he won it. That's not too egregious, at least not compared to 5 eye pokes. Moving up the card, Wonderboy versus Joaquin Buckley. I chose Joaquin Buckley by unanimous decision. He got it done in the last round by TKO. So first round, Joaquin Buckley and Poe, he's not stupid. He's not a stupid guy. He's not one of the stupid people who'll stand with Wonderboy. He showed him the first round, first few minutes, he picked him up and slammed him. We know he's got good wrestling. We know he's got decent striking. He chose to go with the wrestling for the first round, but it still didn't get him that round. Wonderboy was very good on the counter, as he always is. Got the counters in when Joaquin Buckley was going in, and Joaquin Buckley, he was very charging in with combos that just weren't affecting Thompson. He got the range right. He was circling out of them. Thompson got the better shots in on first round. Deserved that first round. Buckley brought it back in the second. It was an arguable 2-0 Wonderboy or 1-1. He started to land the counters and started to really put on the pressure, which we thought he would. His corner work relayed that, and they told him to get the finish. That he did. Third round, overhand right connects to Wonderboy. Rest is history. Wonderboy's out cold. Well, not out cold, but it was hard to see from the camera work, but he was down. He was knocked out. Buckley gets the win. Well done, Buckley. Soon title fight. Maybe. I mean, who does he fight next? I'm trying to think of welterweight. Maybe like an MVP in the meantime if he's down for it, but I don't know, that might be a retard take. I might need to do that again. Either way, moving up the card, Roman Dolidze versus Kevin Holland. I had Kevin Holland by a upset in round 1, KO or sub. This is another annoying fight because Dolidze got the respect after a bit. It was nothing happened in the round. Leg kicks by Holland in the first minute and a half, 2 minutes. Dolidze got the respect on the feet, got the takedown. Stayed there for the rest of the round. Holland trying to push his pelvis and lift his legs upward on Dolidze's body while he was on bottom, trying to set up something of, a triangle or armbar. As he was doing that, you see one of his ribs just dislocate or snap. Unlucky. It's what happens. It's what happens when you make picks. Things like that happen. But it did look like Dolidze was, he was obviously winning the first round. It doesn't mean he was going to win the fight. But Holland lost by stoppage. No, not stoppage, sorry. It was stopped on the stool after he, like I say, his corner threw in the towel. I think he agreed to it in the end to not go, but it was smart. But it's just unlucky. Unlucky. Good fight, sort of ruined. But hey-ho, Dolidze gets it done. And he'll be in title contention again soon. Jose Aldo versus Mario Batista. Egregious fight. I picked Aldo by decision. Horrible. Disgusting refereeing. This absolutely soiled the card. If it was a bad fight against Pereira and Roundtree, even if it was an early TKO by Pereira, it wouldn't have been that impressive. But it was a good fight for the main event, which was, thank God, because this fight, Aldo versus Batista, shocking. It's a huge robbery. People trying to, I'm forgetting the word. People trying to, it'll come to me. People trying to justify Batista getting this decision is a disgrace. Absolute disgrace. Batista round 1. Easily. Aldo was he wasn't throwing too much. Batista was definitely piling on the pressure more. Didn't throw many takedowns. Didn't fail many takedowns because he didn't throw them. But Batista definitely got that round. Volume, landing. He did with landing. Not too much damage, but it was a Batista round. Round 2 comes around. Aldo starts finding it. He's getting there on the feet. Early on, opens up a cut on the eyebrow of Batista. He was feeling that the whole round. That really, whether that swayed the round, it should have, because it was round 2 was unanimous on all judges' scorecards. It was an Aldo round, so that's nothing of contention. He was finding it. He was getting good combos, good 1-2s, good jab, incredible jab on Aldo this fight. Batista was failing takedowns. It says on ESPN 0 out of 10 takedowns. I take that more as 0 in 16, 15. Something nearer to that. It was a stupid amount of takedowns. Completely failed. You can't call that control time. He was doing nothing. Kneeing against a fence. and the occasional shoulder strike. That's not that doesn't get you a fight. Okay, either way, unanimous round 2 Aldo. Round 3, Aldo is teeing off. He is teeing off. His jab is leading the way for the first part of round 3, and for the other, and for just past the destructive jab of Aldo, which did stumble Batista multiple times. Combos. He's letting off combos. He's obviously, no one would doubt that he's winning on strikes in round 2 and 3. Batista apparently what swung the round, or that the only thing that could have swung the round in round 3 that 2 judges thought was good enough, is probably about 7 or 8 failed takedowns, kneeing against a fence, kneeing the thigh against a fence, while Aldo was actually ripping to the body with knees and shoulder strikes to the head. That's what wins you an MMA fight. That's why Marab. Well, it's not why Marab has the belt. He deserves that now. Deserves it. But that's what wins your fights in the UFC. Damage means nothing. Strikes mean nothing. Doesn't even matter if you get him down off takedowns. Just putting in a takedown and just holding him against the fence. That's good enough. I said there's two ways that Aldo loses this fight, which he won't. 1, he gets taken down, which he won't. 2, his gas tank can't do it at altitude. Both of them stood up. He won the fight. Both of them held up. But no, 2 judges value kneeing against the cage better than 1-2s and combos on the dome piece of Mario Batista. Moving on to the main event. Alex Pereira versus Khalil Roundtree. Now, like I say, this was an incredible fight. This really was an incredible fight. It was wouldn't have been the same if Pereira just got some, left hook, signature left hook on him that just sent him. Khalil really made this a good fight. So did Pereira. Khalil, round 1, he had a dangerous, he really had a dangerous combo on him. He'd rush forward with a 1-2-3. That third one was always close to or glancing off Pereira. And it was quite worrying. You really weren't settled if you're a Pereira fan watching this. Round 1, absolute Khalil, 100%. He was landing. Pereira didn't even he didn't engage much, to be honest. He didn't throw much in that. Round 2, Khalil as well. Pereira started to engage a bit more. There was a big moment in relatively early in round 2. Pereira goes for a head kick. Khalil ducks it. As he's spinning around, he's facing the opposite way to Khalil as he gets his foot down. Khalil capitalizes. He does get I think it's a right hook onto the just back of Pereira's ear. Significant. Then going later into that round, he does basically get a head kick, whether it came in full impact or not, But it landed. It landed the head kick. 2-0 Roundtree. This is where it got a bit sweaty, but Pereira definitely had the game plan, as my friend said. Definitely had the game plan of wearing out Khalil, understanding his game plan as well. That was probably a part of it. But as he did, you saw at the end of I think it was the end. No, it might have been end of the third or second round. I think it was end of the third round. But third round was good. Definitely Pereira round. Landed cleaner. You saw Khalil was stumbling off of jabs that Pereira was putting out. Very good by Pereira. Like I say, he does have stupid power. Definitely got his groove going in the striking. End of round 3, Khalil was gassing. He was gassing hard. He didn't seem like he was hurt too much, but it could have looked it just by how tired he was. Going into the 4th, you sense what was coming. But I didn't expect it in this manner. It was probably about 1 minute in, and Khalil had been really hurt. I forgot what by. There was so much in this 4th round. But basically, as soon as Khalil was hurt, Pereira didn't rush in. Spent about 3 minutes on the outside, just picking his shots, picking his combos, putting a beating on Khalil. It was it was a bit disgusting. It was like Khalil was opened up bad. He was bloody. I'm sure you could just look up the KO on Twitter, but end of 3 minutes he was defeated. Can't knock the heart on Khalil because he stayed in an incredible amount of time, and he only really, like I say, didn't even get knocked out cold. But Just had to cover up, too much pressure. And Pereira's too smart. Pereira's too smart. He will not rush in. He does just take it. It was like it was like 3 minutes of what, or I feel like it was 3 minutes of what Adesanya was taking in the first fight. Disgusting. It felt very bad, but it was a great fight. Great fight. I'm glad it materialized that way. Incredible. Again, not didn't shoot a takedown against Pereira, but I get it. He was getting success. It wasn't as one sided as especially the rematch with Prohaska. But yeah, I thought it was a good card. Really soured me. Really put a sour taste in my mouth. The Jose Aldo fight, but it happens. People are gonna get robbed. People are gonna get robbed of legacy, but it is what it is. Let me know what you thought about the card in the comments. Thank you for watching, and bye bye.